Welcome everybody. Got camp all set up out here in North Dakota. This is the first camp set up of this trip. So I got this trailer last year, insulated it, got this door net on. Kind of built a little bed frame here with some storage underneath. Got a bunch of stuff along the side, cooler, hung some tree stands in the back. Got quite a bit of space back there. Sorry for the mess up front. I didn't get time to get some cabinets in, but got a TV, generator, all that stuff. So we're looking at quite the view back here. You really can't beat that. So we'll see how this trip goes. Alright, so day one pretty much has been a bust so far as seeing a mule deer or a whitetail since I've been here. Heading back to camp. Gonna regroup, set things up, and actually cook supper and eat something for the first time in 2 days. And then looked at a bunch of spots today. Access is tough. Apparently North Dakota finds it a good idea to put roads on a map and it shows that they go someplace, and then you drive like 20 miles back there just to realize that they just dead end the damn thing. So yeah, I had a lot of that today. So we'll see what we can find tomorrow. If we don't find something, I'm moving. Back at camp, getting some lunch. Got out pretty early this morning. I had seen 4 muley does right where I was going to park the truck on this piece. But work was calling me, so I couldn't do much about it or see if there was a buck in there. So I went and sat out there for a couple hours, and then I had to come back to the truck to check back in with work. There was some rain coming too, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Went to a different spot, checked it out. Looks like prime mule deer habitat. Seen a couple does and fawns out there, but just can't find those horns. So definitely put some miles on today. Alright guys, driving down the highway here. Finished day 2, checking out 2 more spots since lunch. One of them I actually have been to, so there actually is some deer sign there, but I get all the way out there on these roads to nowhere, and the whole road's under road construction, and it is an absolute it's a mess. So I can't get my truck with the trailer to there to camp and hunt, so we gotta scratch that. So I went to another area in this billy goat country, and it's okay, maybe, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. My legs are pretty shot after like 8 miles pretending that I'm a billy goat. So on a side note, I did see some more mule deers, but from the truck I seen my first buck. It was a spike. But I see my second buck. It was a 4-cord. And I see my third buck. It was like a nice 9-pointer. So that was cool. Oh man, that was intense. That deer was on that point. I was over here. Went all the way down that hill. There's a connection between those two peaks I didn't know about. I thought he was going to come down the bottom. I was going to meet him down there and shoot him. He ended up here. He's up in here somewhere right now. It's too late to go get him. Alright guys, day 4. As you've seen, I had some action last night. Seeing 3 down fawn. This morning I went out in the same spot, jumped a buck on my way in. Seen nothing while I was glassing or like scouting what happened with the other buck yesterday. And then ended up jumping that spike a doe and her fawn, coming back out of there up the hill on the other side. Ran into a guy way back in there that I think he took the gully like straight down the middle of the property past me, but pretty sure that when I was scouting I got out in front of him. But then I'm like, this guy, and I'm like, did this guy literally just watch me take a shit and not say nothing? Like, what the hell? Where's his courtesy, man? Alright, so this place that I was at tonight is only a couple valleys over from where I was yesterday. This place is loaded up with mule deer. And I encountered another 3x3, but just got too dark, can't stalk them in the dark. And I think there was a 4x4, smaller one, and then the rest were does and fawns. But instead of coming down into the valley, they all went from the valley all the way to the top, and that kind of surprised me. So, not sure for tomorrow to try and spot and stalk them in the morning, or try and get close to these 2 points for these deer where I just try and get a shot and not care about seeing everything. Alright guys, it's day 5. I set up camp in a new spot. Hunting this place down here in southern North Dakota that I actually got a doe on a couple of years ago. So I was driving by and I see there's 2 deer underneath a tree at the back of this section. So I'm on my way out there right now. I don't know if you can see the tree it's way out there, kind of in the center of the screen. But they're both underneath it in the shade. I'm pretty sure one's a buck. And then on my way here, one of the locals actually was driving in his truck on a different property and jumped a group of like 5 muleys out of a wood patch. And man, one of them was the biggest mule deer I've ever seen in real life. But obviously I haven't seen that many. It's crazy, but I would have loved to have shot any of the 4 that were in that group that had horns on their head, that's for sure. So we'll see how this stalk goes. Can't believe this is happening right now, but there's 5 bucks underneath that tree. I thought there was just 2 deer originally from the road, but one's a pretty nice mule deer. And I don't know, it looks like there's a nice whitetail in there too, but I can't tell from where I'm at. Somehow I have to figure out how to get probably to those bushes if I can over there. I don't know how I'm going to do it. You're right in their line of sight. I've already army crawled through the cactuses to get this far. Alright, so I'm going to the right of them deer. You know, they're over this hill somewhere by that tree. There's this cluster of trees. There's always deer in here every time I've been here. I'm hoping there's not, but if there is, hopefully we can shoot one of them too, if there is. But I'm just going by, there's either water in them trees. I know there's water on this property. I don't know how long them deer have been out in the sun and sitting under that tree. But I mean, they gotta be getting thirsty sooner or later. So I'm just trying to hustle. My hunch is they're gonna go left and stay on the private, but if they don't, this is my best chance over here, both cover and wind. So I'll see what happens. Alright, so I just army crawled like half hour over this hill, trying to keep them trees in line with the deer that are under that tree. I'm going to crawl up here a little bit further and try and figure this out. They obviously have to cross onto the public for me to do anything anyway. But I'm about 204 yards from that tree right now. I really think they're going to go left. But if they do come right, I do have some options. Alright, there they are. There's 4 or 5 of them there. That one in the middle, I think is the bigger one. Can't tell because there's 2 together closer to the tree. About 150 yards.
Just grab my pack and running down this fence line. See if they cut the corner of the property. So there's still time to get one. Alright. So that's the end of that stalk on day 5. I had 4 bucks and 1 doe, all mule deer, out in front of me for, oh god, I got within 100 yards of the 2 biggest ones. They were on private, so I just sat there and waited, hoping they were going to cross the fence. I could have crawled up to 35 yards from the biggest one, the 4x4. He was laying right on the fence. But, I know, it's a difference of a couple of feet when you got this public-private land issue that you run into. So, laid on my stomach for, 3 hours just watching them. And then I went over the hill and I thought maybe I could cut them if they jumped the fence at the corner, but they just kept going down on that same piece of property. Look like they're on their way to a cornfield down there. So we'll see what we can get on in the morning.